Is the Pope going to make Greta Thunberg the next patron saint next to Mother Teresa? Sounds like it. The Pope, the most left-wing, most non-biblical Pope in history, comes out, guess what, as the champion of climate change. Pity he doesn't read his Bible. I think the old senile Pope, and again with respect, has got caring for the environment confused with the climate change cult. Show me in the Bible, you're supposed to be the head of the church, where the Bible teaches you to worship earth. I'd like to see it. It doesn't exist. As the old hymnist said, this is my Father's earth. This left-wing Pope, remember his background. He has supported every single left-wing ideology. Let me prove it to you. In his latest speech, not only does he champion the cause of Greta and, of course, the WEF, he also talks about getting rid of nationalism. Oh, funny. I read about a future leader in the Bible who is against nationalism and wants to form a one-world government. Am I saying the Pope is part of this? Read my lips. Yes. Also, he joins arms with, guess what? Every single left-wing ideology that you can imagine. Everything from the alphabet crowd to everything else. He is the most progressive, people-pleasing, left-wing socialist Pope that I have ever seen. I wish he would look at the sacred book and see what it actually says. Or maybe he needs to consider the investigation right now into the fraud within the Catholic Church. And this all-compassionate, all-wonderful Pope, what is his retort to a group of people? They say they take vows of poverty, yet they own more land than anybody else. Think of that. They have their own currency in the Vatican. They've got their own laws within the Vatican. And this is what he says about the current audit going on in his house. He says, please treat it with merciful discretion. Merciful discretion? Let me remind you, in 2021, they found that there was fraud, misappropriation, giving and receiving bribes, and the abuse of office, and that wasn't even taken seriously by the Vatican. That's because he's too busy coming up to Greta. And of course, in May of this year, the Vatican's financial watchdog, which monitors transactions through the Vatican banks and financial institutions, said it had identified suspicious financial activities originating in 2 Vatican authorities and another instance from a non-profit organization linked to the Holy See. No wonder the Pope wants him to deal with, let me quote, merciful discretion. I think the Pope would be wiser to look at why Christianity is getting hammered 4-1 by extreme Islam. I think he would be better off getting back to the tenets of his faith and the tenets of the Lord that he says he actually serves. I think it's better that this guy goes and reads his Bible and see what it says about worshipping Mother Earth. I could go on about that, but they're so misguided on so many other doctrines. Why would you expect them to be any different on this one? This Pope, who is committed to interfaith religious dialogue, which means he wants the amalgamation of all religions under the guise of, hey, it's all the one God. Let me give it to you straight, folks. Here is how I feel about this. I will sit down and pray for people of other faith, but I will not sit at the table and pray with. Why? Their God and my God are 2 completely different things. And if you read the sacred book, you would find out that God says, I am the Lord thy God. There is no other God before me. Not Islam, not Buddha, not Krishna, no one, only one. And he, sadly, has swayed from that vital truth.